Hello there, one and all, and welcome back to the channel. It's a while since I've had a KitKat, to be honest. And this is probably maybe the third or fourth time that I've ever had a KitKat here in Mexico. And yeah, they produce KitKat at their plant in Toluca, just down from Mexico City, or up. I don't know, my geography of Mexico is quite terrible, really. Yeah, the Nestle plant there produces KitKats. Thankfully, it's not Hershey producing the chocolate, but Nestle. I do like Toluca, a lovely city with their green chorizo and other lovely food. I think KitKat is probably my favorite of all snack biscuits, crackers. I don't know how you would categorize a KitKat, really. Is it a snack? Is it a biscuit? Cookie for American viewers? What is it? I don't really know. I mean, in Britain, I did used to have probably a KitKat once a week. I mean, I would maybe have it as an afternoon snack along with my cup of tea, which I'm going to be having in a moment once my tea has brewed. Yeah, that would be something I would have in the office. I think everybody would have a break and have a KitKat, as the phrase goes. Yeah, but not in the morning. You would never have a KitKat in the morning. Always in the afternoon. That is when you would have a KitKat. There was a certain protocol to having certain snacks in the UK. So, a little bit of history of the KitKat. The first time the KitKat appeared in Britain, as is a British, what do you say, invention, idea? Well, snack anyway. Well, the first time KitKat appeared in the UK was in 1935, and it was made by the lovely Roundtree's company, who made so many great chocolates, snacks, and things like Quality Street, always a staple at Christmas. You always have a tin of Quality Street at Christmas. I don't know. That's the only time you would ever buy Quality Street by Roundtree's. Anyway, I digress. KitKat was not called KitKat in the beginning. It was called Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp. And 2 years later, in 1937, it became known as KitKat. I don't really know where the name KitKat comes from. There was a KitKat club in London, but I don't know if that has any bearing on the proceedings. That famous slogan that you might see on the wrappers of a KitKat, "Have a break, have a KitKat," actually was introduced in 1958. It's a great advertising tool. I mean, you always associate the phrase "have a break, have a KitKat" with KitKat, obviously. And yeah, whenever somebody says "have a break," people in Britain will say, "Well, have a KitKat." And it's always good with a cup of tea. And here is my little cup of tea, about half a litre of tea. I am British, and so I do drink a lot of tea. Oh, what a lovely cup. I think in Britain, KitKat is like a national treasure, despite having been bought by Nestle. Actually, Nestle bought the whole of the Roundtree's companies. And in Britain, we're still not over the fact that some foreign company came in and bought such an institution. Actually, we're not over the fact that Kraft and Mondelez, as they are, for their foods division, bought Cadbury, to be honest. Yeah, the British are not very happy when foreign companies come in and buy their renowned and famous and beloved brands. I mean, take Cadbury, as I mentioned, Roundtree's being absorbed by Nestle, sadly, in 1988, I think it was. Yes, my notes here say 1988. Or PepsiCo coming in and buying Walker's Crisps. Such a terrible thing to happen. And when we British, I hate to use the term Brits, are not happy about something, we put our foot down and complain about it. But we don't really do anything about it. We just moan and complain, basically. I wish the British were more animated at times. But one thing that Nestle did, which kind of irked the British people, was changing the packaging. In the past, a KitKat was wrapped in silver foil, and then there was this red label like the KitKat envelope, as it is now, around it. So this was paper, and now it's this foil. Sorry, there are some dogs barking outside. I'm not sure what they're after. Maybe I should give them a KitKat. Anyway, so yes, this foil wrapped around it was what everybody loved about a KitKat. Now it's this, I don't know how to describe it, an envelope? Yeah, it's like this sealed plastic outer coating. And I don't like it. Many British people don't like this thing that Nestle have done. And it's changed the whole dynamics of what a KitKat is all about. Yes, I am British, and I am moaning about what Nestle have done to the beloved KitKat. Yeah, British and moaning do go together hand in hand. We're Olympic champions at moaning, I think. I don't know what it was, but there was something so satisfying about a KitKat when I was a youth, where you would kind of remove the paper sleeve, turn over the KitKat, open with your nail the silver foil, and that lovely click as you would snap off a finger of KitKat. I don't know, there was something so satisfying about it as you broke off this finger of a KitKat, and then you would break the KitKat. There was this lovely snap to a KitKat, both in the snapping of the finger and breaking off one of the fingers from the other three. Oh, such memories of my youth. So now that Nestle own KitKat as a brand, it's now become this global phenomenon. Everywhere, every country has a version of KitKat. Apparently Japan has such a big range. I mean, KitKat in Japan is like this mad phenomenon. I mean, they have so many varieties, matcha and so many others. It's incredible. considering that the only KitKat I had was the basic milk chocolate one, which is here in Mexico just called Original, I think. Well, that's the basic KitKat. And yes, it is this global brand. But KitKat arrived in the United States in 1970, I think it was. And they started to produce KitKat under license from, I think it must have been Roundtree. And Hershey, I'm sounding rather posh there, Hershey. Well, Hershey were the ones who had the rights to produce and distribute KitKat throughout the United States, and they still do. You'll find that KitKat in the United States is very different to KitKat everywhere else due to this licensing agreement. So Nestle, I don't think, can get out of this. But going by the quality of Hershey's chocolate, I would say that a KitKat in the United States must be pretty terrible, going by the rather horrible, terrible nightmare of a chocolate that Hershey actually are known for. Yes, who wants a chocolate that tastes like that? I'm glad it's not like that here in Mexico. So, on to the tasting of KitKat. There you go. There's the one that I am used to, despite the packaging. They also make a white chocolate version. Might be interesting. I do like Nestle's white chocolate, especially Milky Bar, which was a popular candy chocolate bar when I was a kid. And they do a dark chocolate one as well. That looks interesting. And last of all, this triple chocolate. I wonder what that's all about. Triple chocolate? Okay. So let's start off with the original. And an original with a nice cup of tea. Nope, I can't do what I used to do with the KitKats I had in the UK. When did they introduce this plastic thing? I'm not sure. Let me look at my notes. I don't know. When was it? Yeah, it was kind of it's about 2000, I think it was. Something like, sorry, I'm looking at my notes there. Something like 2002, or so, certainly in the 2000s, Nestle decided that it would be far more economical for them to reduce costs to have them in this rather than foil and a little paper wrapper. I guess it would be better, but now you have this little brick wrapper here to get into the thing. Your thumbnail just can't get into this. Oh, it does kind of take away the feeling a little bit. A little bit of a snap, but not to the kind of degree it used to have. I did have these in the fridge, so they've kind of got a bit of a bloom from the fridge effect on chocolate. Oh, it should snap. A good KitKat should snap as you break off one of the fingers. It doesn't. I'm quite disappointed with that. Because that's the essential part of a KitKat, really. It's that sensory sound. It's rather like anything, any product, that there's a sensory element. It's like when you open a can of something, there's always the kind of double sound. One as you open the can, and then as you put the tab back, it has that sound that you associate. There's this association that we have with products, whatever they are, whether it's through something audible, with smell, with sight. And KitKat relies, in my view, on that sound. You have that sound of, as you open it, that little snap. But anyway, yeah, the wafer. And it's, yeah, now it's been out of the fridge for a little while. It has regained its chocolatiness, but the snap has really spoilt it, because it hasn't snapped as well as it should have. But the wafer looks fine. Yeah, oh, it's nice. It is nice, maybe a little sweeter than I remember. I can't remember. I've been here for 20 years, so it's a while since I've had a British KitKat. Goes nicely. Chocolate's good. But always remember, a KitKat had more wafer. I think there's rather too much chocolate to wafer ratio. I always remember that a good KitKat should have a nice wafer. You should have a nice biscuit inside, nice wafer. And then the chocolate is, in a way, secondary, but complementary at the same time. And really, a bit too, yeah, I would say that it's rather on the cloying side. That chocolate, it's not a pleasant chocolate. I always thought Nestle were better. But no, it's a bit, I don't like the chocolate. No. And it takes away from the wafer. That's the whole experience of a KitKat. The wafer and the chocolate. No, I'm not really impressed with the basic KitKat. Oh, no. No. That gets a 4 out of 10, I would say. No, I'm not that impressed with the standard Mexican KitKat. It's too sweet. The chocolate is far too sweet than it should be. No. I don't think I'll buy a KitKat again. But we have 3 more to go through. Let's see if they get any better than this thing. So let's try the white chocolate one. I've never seen a white chocolate KitKat before, but they seem to have arrived. They seem to be part of the KitKat range. Are they making too many? I don't know. I mean, I have 4 versions of KitKat. Maybe, I don't know. I'll give my verdict at the end of the next 3, including this one. So let's open this and see how the snap is on this one. I really am a sucker for white chocolate. I am even more so for dark chocolate, very bitter, especially 100%. I always remember a tale my mother told me that when I was, I don't know, must have been 4 or so, and she had dressed me in a white top, and she said to my grandfather, "Now, don't get him dirty, don't buy him any chocolate, because I want him to look good as we're going out in my white top that I had." So my mother returned, and there I was in my white top, all nice and clean. But I gave the game away, sorry grandfather, and went nom 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 nom. And she said, "What did you give him?" And apparently he gave me a bar of Nestle white chocolate, Milky Bar I think it was called. And that's why my white top was not soiled with chocolate. You can't tell with white chocolate. Anyway, that's one of those tales I always remember. Anyway, let's listen to the snap. Oh yeah, oh okay. So it's broken less, not so much of a snap. Yet again, a little bit of a snap. Oh dear. So let's see what this is like. Here we go. That's the bar. So, I do like the smell of Nestle white chocolate. I like white chocolate in general, but some would say it's not really chocolate, as it's mostly cocoa butter, cocoa fat. Oh, a nice cuppa. So let's see if it snaps. No, there's no snap there. It's kind of, but as you can see, inside, the biscuit kind of stands out in a way. Oh yeah, I would say I would say that the wafer is much crisper in the white chocolate one than in the original. I would also say that the white chocolate is not as sweet. Actually, I think I prefer this to the standard. As there's more balance. The white chocolate goes with the wafer much better in this because it's not as sweet. Because I always remember that KitKat was not too sweet. And that's why I used to love KitKat much more. Because it didn't have an overly sweet chocolate. It was just this nice balance, this nice mix of chocolate with wafer. Let's try a little more. Sorry, the phone is binging again. Say what you will about Nestle, they do make a very nice white chocolate. Oh, that's nice. Creamy. There's this lovely creaminess to Nestle white chocolate. I think that's probably why many kids in Britain loved Milky Bar so much, because it was so good. And the tea does go nicely with that, more so than the standard one. Interesting. Yeah, I would give this much more. I would give this a 7 at least. It's far better. Yeah, I prefer this one much more to the normal one. Let's see what's next. So, number 3 is the dark. Again, I've never had a dark chocolate KitKat. When did these arrive? Be interesting to see when they introduced these. Apparently there used to be a mint one. I don't know when it arrived here, but apparently there was a mint KitKat. And I love chocolate and mint together. Please, Nestle, reintroduce the mint one to Mexico. So, let's open it in the... Oh. Why is it when they have these little arrows that say open here, you have to go millimeter across to open them? So... Yeah, there's a kind of silent snap there, but you feel the snap. Here we go. Not that much darker than the original, but most definitely has a very dark chocolate aroma. This might be, it's like 60-70% cocoa. Oh, yeah. Minor snap as you break it in half, which is the traditional way of having a KitKat, 2 halves. And let's give this one a whirl, shall we? That's nice. Again, like the white chocolate one. Less sweet. It's a much less sweeter KitKat. It has a nice mouthfeel. Not too bitter as chocolates go. I do love a 100%, or if I can't get that, an 80 or 85% chocolate. But yeah, this is like an everyday dark chocolate that wouldn't offend anybody. But it does have a lovely flavour in the mouth. Yeah, that has a nice flavour. I don't know, maybe it's a 60 or 70% chocolate. I'm not one for really sweet things, so I think so far I've preferred the white chocolate and the dark more than the traditional, which is a milk chocolate. And I do prefer this more so than the original. Please, Nestle, reduce your amount of sugar in the original. I think it would be a far more pleasant KitKat, to be honest. The chocolate is melting a little on the fast side. Well, excuse me. Well, it is about No, close to 30 degrees here in Monterey today. And it's start of November. Apparently it's going to get colder next week. So, as is traditional in Monterey, we will drop from 30 down to about 8 degrees. Maybe I should have done this tomorrow when the weather is cooler. It would have not melted so much. A little more slurp of a tea. Yeah. Oh, it goes nicely with the dark chocolate. That's rather nice. I think I would say that the dark chocolate KitKat would be a 7.5. That's very good. Maybe 7.5 to 8. Yeah, it's very pleasant. It's lovely. Oh, it really is nice. You don't normally get it in a KitKat, an aftertaste that is quite pleasant. KitKat, you eat it and you go, that was good. But this is like, something that really fills the mouth. I don't know, maybe tea is not something to have with the dark chocolate one. Maybe a glass of red wine would go well with this, or maybe a glass of tequila añejo. Ooh, that would be a good taste combination to try out, wouldn't it? So, here is our fourth KitKat, the triple chocolate. Apparently this is a limited edition version, so I'm only having one finger of each, so I'm kind of just eating one KitKat. I'll eat the rest tomorrow, I think. Well, not all of them. Again, there we go. Again, getting into these packets is not the easiest thing. The old version, as I say, silver foil, open with your fingernail, and you're there. But this new version where they say open here, again, it's not snapping as you would normally expect. And this one's maybe melted a little bit too much, because as you can see, I haven't really got the whole finger there. Yeah, could be the heat, I guess. But looking at it, I'm sure KitKats used to be much bigger. I don't know. I'm sure a KitKat used to be at least a centimetre longer than this. Are they reducing the size of chocolate bars and candies and other things these days, but increasing the price? I don't know. Yeah, they say that is what's happening, but I'm not sure. Or did things just look much bigger when you were a child? Probably. But anyway, inside, as you can see, there's milk chocolate on the outside. There were darker milk chocolate. It's kind of melting a little bit. Inside, as you can see, the wafer is a little different. It's a darker wafer. It's like a chocolate wafer. So which is the third chocolate? Milk chocolate on the outside. It says chocolate con leche. And then we have chocolate flavored wafer. And then on the bottom. Oh yes, yeah. On the bottom is dark chocolate. That's the third chocolate. It's nice. Do I like it as much as the dark chocolate one? Well, I would say it's not as sweet. It's like with the white and the dark. They're not as sweet as the original KitKat. But yeah, this is not. No, this doesn't really have as much sweetness. It's nice. I like that. It's kind of. It's a nice cleanser in the palate, actually. I would say very clean tasting KitKat. I do like that. Ooh, I'm tied with this one and the dark chocolate. Now, do I give this a higher number of points than the dark chocolate? Or would I give it the same? I would say it's... Yeah, I would give that a 7.5. So the same as the dark chocolate one, really. It's nice. Very, yeah, as I said, it has a nice clean chocolatiness. There's a bitterness as well, like you get with the dark chocolate. So there's a little bitterness, which seems to balance with the sweetness, but not too much sweetness. Yeah, that's nice. I wonder what the mint one is like. KitKats aren't really cheap when you compare them to other snack bars, etc. I mean, they're like 30, 32 pesos. Depends if you go to OXXO or 7-Eleven. They're more expensive in 7-Eleven than they are in OXXO. I mean, OXXO, I think it was 32 pesos for each of the bars, and about 34 in 7-Eleven. But what surprised me is I bought those 4, but there is a 5th, and it's one that they call Mini Moments, which is like one finger of... actually, I think this is somewhere between one finger and the KitKat Chunky. Actually, I think the KitKat Chunky is more like the original KitKat. I'm not trying one here, but I had one the other day. And it's not as sweet as the normal KitKat. And I like that one, I would say, much more. But as I say, the normal KitKat's 32, 34 pesos. Would you believe this one, which is smaller than the normal KitKat, is the same price? Is that a rip-off? I don't know. I mean, it's like one finger, but an extended finger in a way. And yeah, as I say, these are called Mini Moments. They do some other ones. I can't remember which, but this one is Caramello. Ooh. I bought it because I thought, oh, that looks interesting. So let's have a look at this. So it should be the same chocolate as the standard KitKat, but I don't know. Obviously, there's not going to be any snap because there's only really one finger of this thing. Oh, they come in little. Oh, they come in little pieces. So you have like bits you can break off. Oh, that's interesting. Inside, you have the wafer, as you can see, but on the top, there's a layer of caramel. Ooh, very decadent. And this looks a nice wafer. I wonder if the chocolate is sweeter than the original. Let's find out. It's far better chocolate than the original. Nowhere near as sweet. If they can use a less sweet chocolate in these and the chunky, why can't they do it with the original? Sorry. Sorry, my mouth was filled with chocolate there. I don't know why. I mean, you would expect caramel to be such a sweet, maybe sickly kind of thing, but no. This, I like this. Oh, yeah. I do like that. Oh, yeah. Maybe the wafer could be a bit crispier. But yeah, that's nice. The caramel is sweet, but the chocolate is not. And I do like that. I think they do a cappuccino version, so like instead of the normal chocolate, it's more like Caramac, which is one of those things that Roundtree used to make, like a caramel white chocolate almost. But I haven't seen that one yet. But this one, oh yeah, I do like that. I think I would give this one an 8. So I think this is the best of the bunch. And I would say my preferred KitKats in this video are the Mini Moments. Then I would say the dark chocolate one. Then the triple chocolate. Then the white chocolate. Although maybe triple and white chocolate are kind of similar. And then at the bottom of the pile is the original. Dear Nestle, please improve your standard KitKat. I don't know if it's because of the market, whether it's sweeter because of it being for the Mexican market, but it is very different, and I think all KitKats do vary. Some maybe are sweeter, some less, but I can't understand why, if the Mexican market is for a sweeter KitKat, why the other three and this don't have the same level of sweetness. Why the original, the standard KitKat, is sweeter than the other three, and also this one, as I say. I don't know. I think they do, as I say, need to tone down the sweetness to a degree. I must write a letter of complaint. We British are very good at being grumpy and complaining about things. I must put that into email format. So there you are, 4 KitKats plus 1 extra. This one. I must do a chunky review. So, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to all those little buttons down below that are somewhere along there, and click on the bell. Nice to have people like the channel. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye for now. Thank you.